it's Black Friday. Isn't today like Cyber Monday? Like, it's a big shopping weekend this holiday weekend.
Yes, it is.
Have you purchased your Caucasian Collision Unit t-shirt?
I actually did.
You did?
I saw those and I thought I need to get my hands on one.
You bought one.
And thankfully, Duck fans were smart enough. Like, a bunch of accounts had, like, here's the link. I think it's a Dylan Thieneman thing where he made them and you could go, or maybe it's his brother. I think
it's him and Betcher, didn't they?
Him and Betcher wore them. I think they said that his brother helped him make it. Dylan's brother makes t-shirts or something like that. But there's like a Shopify thing. You can go buy them. And I saw that and I thought I'm getting my hands on
So you bought one?
I bought a t-shirt, yeah.
When's it expected to be here?
A couple weeks. It was, I don't think it's a quick shipping. It's not like they're not Amazon. Sure. It's not quite Cyber Monday. It might take them a while.
Well, I think they're printing them out probably as the orders come in.
It might take a while.
They don't have a warehouse.
I'm just hoping it's here in time for the playoff game. That's all I'm hoping because I want to be a part of the Caucasian Collision Committee or unit. What was it? Yeah,
the CCU.
The CCU.
Yeah, the Caucasian Collision Unit.
I would love to be an honorary member of the CCU.
So does Dante Moore. Bryce Betcher says he's going to get Dante Moore.
Yeah, he's like, hey, where's my shirt, man? Why can't I get one of these bad boys?
But that was in the post game, and that was a great soundbite from Thieneman and Betcher as Oregon goes up to Seattle, and they beat the Huskies 26-14, dominating most of this game. It was 19-7. And then the Huskies on a third down got a touchdown to Denzel Boston that cut it to 19-14.
I think it was a fourth down.
touchdown. Yeah. Thank you. I'm misremembering the third down play in my mind. But Boston gets the touchdown. What's funny is right before that drive, I text my buddy. He's a diehard Duck, living with every second of that team. And I go, this game kind of sucks. He goes, speak for yourself. I'm nervous over here.
Well,
and then they score the touchdown. I go, okay, now I got interesting.
Now we got a little something here.
Huskies shouldn't have got that last touchdown drive because on the play that was almost the most spectacular catch of college football.
Maybe in football.
What
are
we
you
doing
kidding
here?
me?
What are we doing
How do
here?
you not overturn that McClellan catch?
For the coolness factor of it. That
And they
should count.
missed the blatant pass interference as the defender had both hands on his off arm grabbing him, which was why he was forced to try to make a David Tyree catch.
Look at you, sounding like a duck honk over there. The officials are out to get us.
He's calling it like he sees it.
Because I watched.
Because if you catch that ball, you're over midfield. The game's 19-7.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of time left.
They're going to score.
They're going to kick a field goal at least. Like the game has a very.
The game was not as close as that final.
You know what's
score.
funny?
It was
the
not.
Ducks dominated because I taped it and watched it when I got back home. And
we ruined it for you in the group chat at the very end. I apologize about that, but I didn't want to side text dirt again. Like, we have a lot of side text because you're at a game, not watching a game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? He's not a guy that cares. If it's ruined, he'll go watch it anyway.
No, I was going to watch that from start to finish no matter what. A lot of the other stuff, a lot of the football, I caught highlights and missed and whatever. But that game I went back and watched, and I knew we were going to be talking about it.
Well, it's just I have two people in my lives. I have a lot of people in my personal, like, day-to-day lives that are Duck fans. And then on my fantasy team that I'm in with my cousin's a UW guy. That whole fantasy league, I think, is UW guys. And so, like, I watched that game, and my takeaway is that score doesn't indicate the ass whooping that I watched. And their takeaway on the other side is that game's closer than the score indicates. And I'm like, it's funny how we can all watch a game and have two completely
have a slant
different
on it depending on your fandom. I totally get that.
I don't have a fandom in that.
I know. No, I'm not saying that you do. I understand why a Husky fan would feel that way. If I were a Husky fan, I'd probably argue that of like, hey, we played pretty bad. It's a one-score game in the fourth quarter. We had a chance to win. I think it's pretty obvious to watch as the game goes. Oregon forced Washington to a 3-and-out. Then they scored on their opening drive, and they led the entire game. Like, it was for the majority of the game, it was a 2-score game. It took a almost miracle at the end of the first half where I don't know how DeMond Williams got rid of that football before he got hit to score that touchdown as kind of time expires. That all of a sudden, all right, now you're a little bit in the game. Oregon comes out, kind of reestablishes a lead. It was a lot of field goals. Credit to Washington's defense. They were outstanding, especially against the run. But as a Duck fan, I understand the feeling of nerves. I get it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you the entire time, especially when it's a one-score game and you got a 3rd and 8 in your own territory right before the Malik Benson touchdown of like, damn, are they going to have thrown in completion here and punt the ball back? Like, that was the only moment of the game that I felt slightly uncomfortable because there just wasn't a lot of fear from Washington's offense. And I think that was the storyline of the game going in is what kind of performance are you going to get from the quarterback positions? There was not a doubt in any way, shape, or form who the better quarterback was on the field the entire game, settling a debate between the two fan bases that has been going on for months. Dante Moore had the better season, and he had a much better game in the rivalry game. The They're just I didn't have that fear that they were going to be able to put together multiple drives. And so even when they did put together a drive, it almost took a break here or there just to get it going. Like, you go back to the drive at the end of the first half that they finally scored the touchdown. Damon Williams should have thrown a ball. Like, it hit Brandon Finney in the hands. He should have thrown a pick on that drive. He got hit as he threw it. It should have been picked, and I think it was Flowers who came in on the deflection that damn near caught the one that like, you almost had two guys pick the ball up. To Swag's point, you have a penalty here. Like, there was a pass interference penalty on Oregon that extended that drive. So it felt like it took a monumental effort for Washington to mount a scoring drive, whereas Oregon, outside of, Dante missing a throw early and then the one corner blitz that he didn't see coming on a third down that derailed it, outside of that, they moved the ball essentially every time that they touched it the entire game.
Yeah, I think if anything, like UW's defense, we talked about this a little bit on Wednesday and Tuesday last week, of like, I do think UW's defense is a little underrated.
For sure it is.
And especially when they play at home. Like, I thought their defense played pretty well. They gave up a couple big plays. Obviously, the Benson 64-yard touchdown catch was the deciding factor and everything. But
that was the backbreaker.
They gave up some big plays once in a while. But for the most part, like, holding Oregon to either punt or field goals, you got to feel great about that.
Yeah, they gave their offense a chance to keep them in the game.
And to your point on Oregon's defense, that was the deciding matchup. It was Oregon's defense against UW's offense. They held UW to 15 of 30 passing for 129 yards. By the way, over the last 6 games, opponents of Oregon have a 46.2% completion percentage.
Pretty good.
Over the last 6 games.
Pretty good.
So they're dominating right now in pass coverage. They're getting pressure. They're doing everything you need to. And so I look at that game and I say, yeah, it is a one-score game. It's 19-14. I hear what you're saying. Like, it's 3rd and 8.
That was the only moment in the game that I was like, oh, if they don't pick this, like, that was all of a sudden it kind of dawned on me, like, if they don't pick this up, this could get interesting. And then they threw a 70-yard touchdown pass.
Totally fair. I think that's fair. If you're a Husky fan listening to this and you're like, oh, yeah, I totally get why you feel that way. I would just counter, as somebody impartial watching that game, I didn't have a fear that UW was going to have another touchdown drive.
I agree with you.
You know what I mean? Like, at best, they'd get in field goal position.
And then DeMond would throw a pick or Jed would do something stupid.
Like, I didn't have that concern. So even if Oregon doesn't get the Benson touchdown and they win a closer game than the 12 points indicates, I still walk away kind of feeling the same way of, like, that was a dominant defensive performance by Oregon against UW's offense.
It's funny because it's kind of been, and it has made a lot of their games entertaining, so I'll give them credit for that because it keeps you on the edge of your seat. This is kind of who Oregon has been all year. They did this to Penn State. There was the same thing that happened in the Iowa game where you watch, and if you just, like, took the score bug off and you're watching and not really fought, like, you would say Oregon's been the better team the entire game. And then you look up and you're like, wait a minute, how's this a 1%? What? And the Penn State game had to go to overtime. The Iowa game, they needed to drive with 1:51 to go, even though they led the entire game.
Yeah.
And then the Washington game, you lead the entire game. And all of a sudden, it's just kind of who they've been all year. They've had a hard time as a young team putting that kill shot on a team.
Consistency offensively.
Like, you just need one more touchdown or one more big play, and then the game is over. Now, eventually, they obviously did it with the long touchdown, and then you get the 4th down stop, and the game is over. But they had ample opportunities in that third quarter to put one touchdown drive together that if they do, then you're like, all right, Washington's not scoring 3 touchdowns here. This game is absolutely over. But that's kind of who Oregon has been all year.
It wasn't as high scoring, but I texted this to you at the end of the first quarter, and I think I ultimately felt this. It felt very Penn State-y to me.
Yeah.
I was watching a team that was better than the other team.
They're moving it, but field goal, or moving it, and then a 3rd down stop.
Score is weird. It doesn't make sense to me because I'm watching one team who is better than the other team, and here we are. It's not that big a gap. Ultimately, they pull away Benson 64-yard touch. Talk about an all-time highlight in that rivalry. Him running between the two defenders with that speed.
Pretty damn good, man. Pretty damn good.
Anytime you can make two DBs hit each other because you're too fast and you go through that gap. I love those kind of highlights.
Look, there's so much more to get into here on my side for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
A testament to their ability to find, develop, and identify talent. Because Malik Benson did nothing at Alabama, and he did next to nothing at Florida State.
He's a retread, yeah.
You go find the tweet that announced his commitment in the transfer portal to Oregon and scroll down in the responses from the fan bases that had watched him play the last 2 years, and it was laughing at Oregon for taking the guy. Even myself, I said, "That Malik Benson? Who? What? That's who you're..." He has been a savior for them the last couple of weeks.
Since Moore has gone out with that injury, who, by the way, didn't play again.
Did not play again.
And I've been wondering this because it's a non-contact, but I've been told no big deal. And then every week happens and he doesn't play. And I'm like, maybe this is a bigger deal and they're not telling us.
You got 3 weeks now to find out.
Exactly.